Hello everyone, Russell Wright from networkempire.com, and today we're going to have an SEO insider interview with SEO software architect Sue Bell and SEO auditor extraordinaire Jimmy Kelley. We are part of the Network Empire training team that trains hundreds of students every year how to create a socially activated, semantically web integrated, one web ring perpetual downstream traffic system, which is a sustainable domain authority stacking network method that has never really been taught anywhere else in the world. And that makes Jimmy and Sue extraordinarily qualified to teach about SEO. And today we're going to talk about the Google starts giving a ranking boost to secure HTTPS and SSL sites and secure certificates, right, Sue?
Correct.
Now let's get into this a little bit. A little bit of a backstory. You can see the article here that I've got on my screen. This is a Search Engine Land article. Google has announced that going HTTPS and adding an SSL 2048 2048-bit key certificate on your site will give you a minor ranking boost. Okay, first of all, Sue, what do you have to say about this just, off the cuff? What's your general insight? I've heard you talk. I've heard you and Jimmy talking back and forth about this, and looking at what it might imply, and doing some basic testing, and we have more testing to come. What is your just general opinion about this?
Well, the official Google stance is that they want everybody to go secure.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that they're trying to incentivize that move to security by being public about a ranking boost.
Right.
And they also said that, as things move forward, they might increase that ranking boost. But coming at it from a different perspective, from all the work that we've been doing in the semantic web, and stuff that we talk about in our semantic course, I'm looking at it from the perspective of, so there's different kinds of secure certificates, and whereas Google's not talking about a differentiation between them, the more expensive secure certificates actually validate the company and their corporate status, making sure that they're in good standing with the state, and that you are who you say you are. So that carries with it, as far as I'm concerned, a lot of trust. So I'm looking at it from the perspective of, it's a great way for them to be able to piggyback off of what the government's doing to validate that company and give an extra boost there. They're not talking about it being a ranking factor, but I'm looking forward to thinking that those more expensive certificates will probably be more valuable in the coming months.
Yep, and for our listeners, what Sue is referring to, within our own organization, we have a course called Semantic Web Training. And as far as I know, it's one of the only courses of its kind, as far as I know, with Kevin Pauly, Sue Bell. You can learn more about that at semanticwebtraining.com. You can see, have that on my screen here. Let's go back to the secure certificate topic. Jimmy, you want to weigh in on this topic?
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's kind of interesting. It's like you feel like it's another bandwagon that people are going to jump on. The first bandwagon most recently was, speeding up your sites, getting those put onto the CDN platforms to help. Basically in Google's mind, it's about giving a user a better experience. And, I think part of that is just giving the feel that, it's a secure site. They're serving up these sites, and they want to make sure that people going to these sites are, information isn't going to get stolen or things of that nature. So I think it's a good user experience, but I definitely agree with Sue. It's boiling down to I really feel those extended validation SSLs are going to be key in the future with the semantic web. I think they're definitely looking for a way to identify with these business entities to know who's the man behind the mask, so to say, on the websites. And I think that's the gear that people should be going to over time.
Now,
but certainly implementing the regular domain SSLs is going to benefit them now, just as if they were to do the CDNs.
Now, there is quite a bit of confusion out there as far as how to attain an SSL and what to look for, and people are confused on the different kinds, like you were just implying, Sue. Are you suggesting, there's obviously a price difference between the basic ones, right? Is it better to get the less expensive ones than not get one at all, Sue or Jimmy? Either one of you? What is the general consensus?
Yeah, at this point, I would say that's what Google's looking to have you do. If you do your hosting at the same place where you actually purchase your domain, they'll set that up very inexpensively for you, just a few dollars a year. I'm not sure what kind of a hoop you have to jump through if you're not actually hosting with your at the same place where you purchased your domain. But that's a fairly simple cross check. And one of the interesting things that I saw today was that a lot of folks who have already got an e-commerce site and they've already got secure certificate implemented, because you have to with the checkout process if you're going to take any kind of personal information, particularly credit cards and that thing. You have to have a secure certificate so that that information can't get seen accidentally or maliciously. And
by law, you mean? You have to, by law, protect
yeah,
your client's credit card information.
You do. So a lot of folks just have the secure certificate, or the HTTPS, right? That's a protocol, and they've only got that particular protocol on the pages that are around the checkout.
Right.
So one of the things that the article said today was that Google was talking about was you have to have the HTTPS protocol on all of your pages in order for the ranking factor to take effect.
Gotcha. Okay, well that makes sense. Now that means that every page on your site, you would hit an index page or whatever, and instead of HTTP in the browser bar, you'd see the S and everything, right?
Right.
Okay, well that's interesting. I have heard from some people, there is a belief by some people I've talked to out there that you should not buy a domain from the same company that you host with. What's your view on that, Sue?
I can't imagine why not.
Okay. Jimmy, do you have an opinion about that?
I don't. I don't really worry about it. I'll go out and buy one from the same one I host with. I usually will hide away the. I think their concern is primarily towards. Google can see when ownership changes, and their fear might be resetting the page rank of that site or whatever they're using it for.
Sure.
And it's not really something to be concerned with. I mean, domains change hands all the time. There's no reason to fear putting that up on the same domain.
Exactly. Okay. I think that might have come up when, it's kind of off topic, but I think it might have come up when dealing with a hosting company that's maybe not as strong or robust, but you can always transfer that. Okay. Well, what do you think else? Is there anything else relevant about this? To me, it just means that, honestly, when I look at this whole thing, just looking at this from the perspective of trying to boost rankings doesn't seem like, if it's a minor page rank boost, I mean, you should do this for security. You should do this to have, secure pages. I mean, here's a question for intermediate type SEOs. How does the HTTPS affect spiders in any way, or bots, or, I mean, obviously we know what they're saying, that they're going to give you, a tiebreaker boost on that type of thing, but is there anything else that you think will be inhibited by the S protocol, Sue?
Not that I can see.
Okay, so they crawl just like normal pages?
Yeah, it's just you need to set up your site so that if somebody tries to hit it with the HTTP protocol, it switches over to the HTTPS protocol.
Okay.
And I can't imagine. I mean, the only bots that wouldn't be able to switch would be really simple bots.
Right.
So those aren't bots you want crawling your sites anyway.
Exactly. And I guess I'm just looking at this from a simpleton view. For a beginner, intermediate, you'll still have your domain, like in your blog when you set your domain as www, right? I mean, when you get a secure, HTTPS, it doesn't change all that. That's something that works as an overlay, right?
It doesn't change your subdomains. It's got nothing to do with your domain structure at all. It just validates the fact that you own that domain. Okay.
I don't think we're going to talk about companies that we recommend, at least not on this audio, so that we can really stop and think about if we even want to mention that. Okay. I was going to say, because I do know the companies that you use, I do know that you have quite a bit of experience with a couple of different ones. But if you decide we want to put that in the article, we'll actually put that in the blog post. And you can visit that blog post. Listeners can visit that blog post at networkempire.com/blog and networkempirenews.com. So let me just pause on that one. Okay, well, I mean, to me, that seems like this is something to watch for sure. And we have had a lot of questions, so I think this will open things up to preliminary dialogues with our students. Do you guys have anything you want to add to this? Any other interesting spins on this?
No, don't think so. I think it's just coming down to it's another Google ranking signal that we should all be implementing.
Absolutely.
At least on the very basic level. So.
Yep, I was just showing everyone this article, SEO Industry Tweets its reactions to Google's SSL ranking boost. One person, Jimmy, is saying they're just kind of embedding in the tweets. For the record, there's about 100 things you could do right now that would have a much bigger SEO impact than switching to SSL. You guys weigh in on that?
Yeah, I mean, as far as like importance with things go, but you can see a benefit when you implement your speed on your site, and I think it's, anything that's going to give you that extra check mark, might as well do it. Mm-hmm. Why fight against it?
Yeah. Oh, here's Bill Slawski. Go ahead, Sue.
The one other thing that I would say is having a secure certificate for like your blog login page is going to encrypt your username and password and make it that much more difficult for somebody to sniff out your credentials and hack your site.
Uh-huh.
So
that's a good point.
It's just that extra layer of protection there.
Here's an interesting.
It's not going to protect you if you've still got your permissions on your files wide open.
Oh, well,
it's
yeah.
not going to help that. They're still going to be able to hack it that way, but
yeah.
Okay.
Here's a comment with Bill Slawski, who we all know. The information on my site wouldn't change if it were switched to HTTPS. So, should HTTPS really be considered a ranking signal? That was his tweet.
Well, sure. I mean, Google's providing a service. It's they want to make sure that customers coming into their store aren't going to get robbed, so to say.
Right.
So, I mean, it's not very good for business. I think they're just trying to look out for the overall user experience.
Right.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's Melissa from SEO Aware. She's saying, I wonder how many people at Google today are laughing now at everyone ready to jump through the next hoop again. Now we want floating snowflakes. She's kind of being facetious.
Right.
Comment, Sue?
I've found floating snowflakes to be incredibly
There you go, Melissa. I know that sometimes she looks at our stuff. So, okay, let me look at the last one. This is fun reading tweets. We should do this in our regular interviews so we can respond to the... Ben Hall. Google launches... It's amazing how many people I know in this community after 10 years. It's kind of scary, actually.
Right.
Ben is saying Google... I don't know him personally, though. Google launches domain registrar. Google encourages use of SSL for SEO that are a massive pain to buy. Next, Google starts selling SSL. All true, Ben.
Can you blame them?
Not really. I mean, that's what I've been watching the Google Speed Checker, and I got to tell you, it's pretty handy. The Speed Checker.
Right.
And I'm just waiting for, their own CDN, which, that's a scary notion. But, right. they kind of already are. I guess they're not really a CDN. But it just gets a little crazy. It's like Google offering hosting, When will it end?
I don't think it will in the near future.
This is a weird question. You guys can pass on the question and you can say no response, all right? Cyrus Shepard is saying, should have invested in the SSL company instead of sinking all my money into that lousy Google authorship photo service.
Apparently a true statement.
Oh, that is funny. Touche, Cyrus, touche. Let's just do one more here. Let's hear from another gal, SEO. Jennifer Slegg. I don't remember what SEO company she's from. I suspect it won't be long before we start seeing secure certificate ads with get your Google ranking boost with our SSL. Okay, she's saying the same thing, basically. All right, and most of the other comments are just SEOs being really facetious about this, so I don't know how useful they are. Bottom line is that, there's a little bit of skepticism. Of course, Barry Schwartz from Rusty Brick is kind of trying to create more dialogue. He says, anyone see a negative downside to Google giving SSL sites a ranking boost? That's not a bad question. Anyone see a negative or downside to giving Google SSL sites a ranking boost? How about you guys?
No.
No, I don't see it. It's accessible to everyone.
Okay.
There's no reason they can't do it on the domain level.
Right. Derek.
It's inexpensive enough.
Yeah, I guess Derek does come out and say, well, it's kind of an added cost for small businesses. And most people don't have any technical notion whatsoever about what an SSL requires if they don't run an e-commerce site.
Right.
I kind of agree with that. I mean, it's like it's taken me a while to get my head wrapped around. I don't do the SSL part of when we do SEO for a large e-commerce sue or like the other clients. I've never really set that up. So it's another added learning curve, for the small business to not get screwed on the type of SSL and anyway. I think that's enough for today. I really appreciate you guys going over this.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's a good topic. I think it's something that's hot. Right
Of course,
now.
one of the SEOs put a meme on here with this. It's a kind of a funny meme that says "Say HTTPS one more time." It's got a guy pointing a 357 Magnum at the. All right, you guys. This has been. Let me snap over to our branding here. This has been an interview with CEO Sue Bell and SEO Maven Jimmy Kelley. And we're going to try to we have a whole archive of SEO Insider fly on the wall interviews where we try to cover the latest, greatest topics. And if you want more information how to attend our live certification events and our certification level SEO and online traffic generation program and training program, please do visit www.swallowyourmarketwhole.com, and you can join one of our perpetual mastermind courses. Thank you guys so much for being with me on this call, and I look forward to our next one.
All right. Thanks, Russ.
Thanks, Russell.
Yeah, bye-bye.